Hello everyone, I'm Stacey Nisobe, and today we've got another championship edition of Lumberjack Flashback. Today I'm joined by Kim Cifuentes and Caitlin Som, two former Lumberjack golfers and members of the 2015 Big Sky Championship team. Caitlin and Kim, how are you both doing?
Good. I mean, keeping as busy as we can right now, I guess.
Absolutely, and it's been a couple of years since you both graduated from NAU. So before we get started, give us a brief rundown of what you've both been up to since your days here at Northern Arizona University.
Caitlin, do you want to start it off?
Sure. Well, first thing, I live in Florida now. So that's kind of the big move. I moved right after I graduated, which was not the plan, but that kind of turned out that way. Now I'm just at home. I got a 2-year-old puppy that I take care of and just working.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I miss her. So I graduated a year before her. I mean, you're older than her. So in the last few years, I graduated in 2017. I've been playing golf professionally, which has been super fun to take it to the next level. I've played all around the country. This year I was actually in Europe playing golf, so that was really cool. So that's been keeping me busy for sure. But I'm still in Arizona for the most part when I'm traveling.
That's great, and I understand this is the first time you guys have actually, I guess, been face-to-face, in the virtual realm at least.
Mm-hmm.
Kim, you graduated, so glad to reunite both of you as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So as I mentioned, you guys are both members of the 2015 Big Sky Championship team here at NAU. You all were sitting fourth at the Big Sky Championship that year. I think you guys were down 6 strokes going into the final round before shooting as a team the best round of the tournament. 297, I believe that was 9 over par for the day, and you won the title by 2 strokes over Sac State. What do you remember about that third and final round of the 2015 Big Sky Championship?
Caitlin and I have a funny story about it, so it's kind of fun that we can do it together. Caitlin, do you remember? Yeah. Do you want to tell her, or do you want me to?
No, you can tell.
So we're warming up on the driving range before we get started, and Caitlin is doing the worst I have ever seen her do. Like, she was hitting the golf ball worse than I've ever seen anybody hit the golf ball. I mean, like, it was like she's never played golf before. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, you good? What's going on here? And she's shanking it and, like, thinning it and chunking it. And I'm like, dude, what is happening? She's like, it's fine. It's completely okay. Usually when I'm this bad, it's going to go good on the course. But she's still stressed a little bit. And I'm like, all right, you go out there stress-free and do your thing. And she goes out there and shoots, 2 under?
So no, like I think it was 3 under.
3 under, like the score of the tournament, and it's basically the reason why we won the conference championship. I was just kind of like, all right, you know what? From now on, you're just going to suck on the driving range and go out there and go under par. It was so funny. After that round, I was like, dude, seriously? The last time I saw you, you couldn't make contact. This is awesome.
It's a typical Caitlin thing. It's occurred more than once.
That's why she was like, it's fine, it's okay. I was like, okay.
Save the best for when it matters the most, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a team, so you were both underclassmen on that team. Kim, you were a sophomore, but your first year actually at NAU after transferring from San Jose State. Caitlin, you're a true freshman. But two underclassmen on that team on the biggest stage of the season. Do you remember maybe being a turning point? I know it's a little different in golf that you guys are all separated, different holes, different holes at a time. But do you remember, recall a turning point on that last day that really clicked for the team?
I think for me, it was the back 9. Like, I held it together. The course that we played, I struggled on the front 9 all 3 days, and then the back 9 was kind of where I made up strokes. So turning point was really when we turned around to the back 9, where I was like, okay, kept it solid through the front. Well, let's just go low on the back, which is what ended up happening. Coach was there, obviously rooting me on. I had Stephanie Kim, who was our assistant coach at that time. She followed me for a couple holes on the back 9, which kind of helped with the nerves. Me versus Kim, I play a lot more safe than she does. So that back 9 really was more favored for me because, like I said, I play it safe and kind of piece around the course. So Stephanie kind of helped me get through that and still stay calm while doing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with her. The back nine was a big difference for the entire team, for more reasons than just our playing. You know, we were getting closer to the end, and we were getting the feedback that we were really close. It was kind of back and forth. My 18th hole, she mentioned Stephanie Kim. Stephanie Kim was with me on my 18th hole, and it's a dog leg right, par 5 over water. That second shot is over water, right? And I was able to reach it into, I was in the rough, and I knew we were close. So it was like a real internal debate of, do I go for it because do we need the extra stroke, or do I play it safe? And I'm always, like she said, I'm super aggressive at all times. And Stephanie Kim was right there. She's like, I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to let you, nope, you're not going to go for it. And I was like, well, but she's like, nope, it's not a debate, not a question. You're going to lay up, you're going to hit a wedge onto the green, you're going to 2-putt for par, and we're going to get out of here. It's going to be fine. But there was a lot of that on the back nine of now knowing that you were kind of close and in contention and having to really step up because of it. So that was a really, really big turning point for us. But yeah, we had the waiting game on 18. That was where it got interesting.
And for fans of, of golf, and particularly college golf, where again, golf is such an individual sport to begin with. And at the college level, it's so team oriented. So as you guys are getting into the clubhouse and your teammates behind you are finishing up, and sometimes you've got teams behind you finishing up, what is that like, to kind of, you're on your own, but you kind of know what the team is doing, how the team is doing, how other teams are doing. Just talk about that experience throughout the day, throughout the tournament, through 3 rounds.
For me, sitting on 18, waiting for the team to come in, it's more or less holding your breath, crossing your fingers, and you're just like trying to tell them, okay, you got it, keep it together. But it's just kind of just being there when they hit a good shot, even if for the other teams, if they come in a shot coming in the green, you still applaud. It kind of still has that sportsmanship, not even for us, for the other teams, but you're also still secretly hoping that your team obviously ends up better on top, but you don't show it. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's really difficult to go out there and do everything that you can do for the team and hope that it's going to be enough. Like Caitlin, for example, going out there and shooting 3 under on that last day. For her, it's like, okay, this was a great day. We've got this, but who knows what the rest of the team's doing, And at the end of the day, it's the whole team championship that matters. And so, I mean, it's difficult because you really want them to do well. The first thing that you do when you get off the course is go on GolfStat and look at scores and how everyone else is doing, whether that's the people on your team or, all the rest of the teams. But you get a good idea because everyone who is following your family, the boosters, whatever, have been following the scores too. So they know everything that's going on and they tell you about it. But you finish up, you sign your scorecard, you go back to 18 and wait for the rest of the team to come in and watch and applaud and, like she said, hold your breath. But conference was kind of an interesting situation for us because we knew that we had a chance, but it had to depend on how everyone else did.
Right.
I don't think anyone knew what I came in at until close to the last hole or so.
Right.
So finally realized they're like, oh, she threw up a low score. Just kind of keep it going, keep the steady pace that we're at.
GolfStat, something I'm all too familiar with. I remember following that particular championship run, over those 3 days on GolfStat. Super proud of all of you for winning the championship that year. When I think back to that 2015 year, I remember hearing a lot about culture, about the team culture and how the culture changed throughout the season. I know you guys got off to a slow start there in the fall, but finished the fall season, I believe, 2nd at the Cal Poly tournament. And that pushed you guys into a pretty strong spring season. You guys won the Red Rocks that spring, had a couple of top 3 finishes. So kind of a 2-part question. 1, how did the team culture change that season? And 2, how much momentum did that Cal Poly tournament to end the fall season really provide you going into the spring?
Kim, you can go ahead.
I mean, you mentioned earlier, Stacey, that I was a transfer. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, the culture that coach was really trying to instill in us had so much to do with just positivity and having strong mental game and just, controlling the controllables is really everything he's focused on. Starting in that year and as carried on to even the team now, it's something he really, really focuses on.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed my game personally completely, because before then I was so negative on the golf course and just brought your game down. And it was so nice to know that you had a coach there that was rooting you on and knew what you were capable of and was going to love and appreciate you, whether you shot, 70 or you shot 85. He was always going to be there for you. And it was really, really easy to play well for someone who you loved like that, like our coach. Having someone like that made it really easy to play well for him. As far as Cal Poly, that was just a really fun tournament. We had so much fun. They had strawberries and whipped cream on the driving range. They made us try tip steak as our meal, team meal while we were there. And San Luis Obispo is obviously beautiful. So, I mean, the golf was great, but the experience was better. And I just think that enjoying those moments and enjoying those tournaments just led us to play better.
Yeah, I really think the seniors kind of going into the spring season kind of stepped it up a little more than they did in the fall, where they were kind of more as leadership roles and really kind of us underclassmen a little more. They did it in a real good, positive way. I was pretty close to Brittany at the time, and Brittany kind of was my mentor that year, as well as Susanna. So just kind of having that back, they're like, hey, you can do it. You can do better than what you're doing. So kind of bring your game back around, and we'll be here behind you to support you. Same thing as Kim said with coach. Did the same thing. I kind of fell more towards with the seniors towards the spring, but definitely coach really kind of gave you that extra little boost of confidence, saying like, I'm here. I'm not going to let you fail. Just keep it going. So it was really, really helpful, especially being first year in.
Definitely shout out to, as you mentioned, Caitlin, upperclassmen that year, Brittany McKee, Susanna Mejia, and of course, Coach Brad Bedortha. So, Caitlin, I guess this question is more for you. After you guys won the championship, you guys went to the NCAA West Regional at St. George. And as a true freshman, you 26th, that led the team at the West Regional. Caitlin, what was that experience like, winning the championship and going on to play with the best teams, in the West?
I had so much fun at regionals. I think I may have been the only one who had fun at regionals. So much fun at regionals. I don't know. I tend to, as my dad used to always tell me when I was younger, fall into the caliber of players that I was playing with. So I kind of did it unnaturally. I didn't really think about it as like a big tournament. We got to go and compete and do well, because I kind of knew these teams are good. I just go and hang in there with them, I'm going to be happy with the results. And that's kind of how the mentality that I went out there with. It worked. And like I said, I just had a lot of fun. So it was end of the year. I got to go home afterwards and hang out with my parents. So I was really excited about that. So
fish with her.
Oh yeah, I did have my fish. Yep. Benjamin came along in his little cup.
Well, kind of to wrap up this Lumberjack flashback, as has been come up a ton of times here, you guys were both underclassmen that year, and to win the Big Sky Championship in your respective first seasons as part of the program, how did that shape your career? The last 3-4 years, or I guess for you, Kim, 2 years, 2 to 3 years that you guys had after that championship season. What followed, and how much that just enhance your overall experience here at NAU?
Definitely. No, go ahead.
I think that, for Caitlin and I, since we had so much golf to play left over, it really showed us how good that we actually were and how capable we were of competing. So to be able to win a conference championship and then have a couple years going forward, it was so easy for us to tell, the upcoming freshmen or the people under us, look, this is possible, and this was the coolest experience in the world. All you need to do is, X, Y, Z, or, just be more passionate or motivated, whatever it was. But I think it just really motivated us for the rest of our careers to get another conference championship, because like to be able to do that for your school and for yourself was really, really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she said, it was definitely more motivating because you can see what you were capable of, and it kind of just sparked something inside to kind of keep pushing and keep going through all the hard stuff, the ups and downs, just kind of keep going. Obviously didn't happen, but we came close. We gave a good fight the rest of the years, so can't complain.
Hey, it's hard to reach the top, and you guys were able to do that. So congratulations to you both. Kim Cifuentes and Caitlin Som, Big Sky champions. Thank you so much for joining, Lumberjack Flashback. It's great to catch up with you, and hopefully you had a great time as well.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course, we'll continue to stay safe, and best of luck in all of your future endeavors, and you continue to make all of us here at NAU really proud.
Perfect.
Will do.
Love it. The perfect ending. We're going to sign out right there.